Hello. One watching now. That would be me. Welcome to the first run of Monday Night MegaMek by the Odysseus Legion. We are trying this out in a live stream. I know I have a lot of local players and individuals who are interested in learning a bit about MegaMek and how to play, and I figured it'd be interesting to start a campaign, get the stream going. Yeah! I believe that is a local friend of mine. I am going to be recording this and leaving it up on the channel, so I don't want to use anyone's actual real name, but congratulations on the first post there. Alright. Two watching. So we are welcome, and first of all, can you hear me all right? Well, hello, Mika. Hello, Mika. You can hear me. All right. Yes, excellent. So you can hear me. We're fine. So you also get the special first preview of an announcement here. Let's see if it switches over. I've got this actual stream up on another screen here. Curious what the delay is. There we go. We're going to be doing a podcast. Yeah, so we've already recorded the first episode. We're going to be recording a second episode pretty soon and trying to release things on a bi-weekly basis. So keep on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, we're going to switch it over and get started on MegaMek. Go to the screen here. So MegaMek as a very powerful tool, there is all kinds of settings and things you can do. We are going to start in much earlier. We're going to start at 3025 here. The idea being this is a campaign centered around a main character who I believe Mika will recognize. I'm going to name him Aragon. But it is going to be the concept of the clans did not like losing contact with the Wolf's Dragoons and some of the efforts that were happening, but they did not have the resources to send an entire giant, ridiculous military unit into the inner sphere. So they're sending a single agent who's starting another a mercenary company, and we're calling it the Emerald Cast, is in a cast of falcons. So we've got the unique insignia, the camouflage. The default settings we're going here are a veteran Mech HQ user, but we're going to be going through some of the settings here. So obviously 3025, starting with Emerald Cast, mercenary affiliation, reputation, campaign, ops. So we've got all of this set here. We're just going to go over something. I like to use the Commander Initiative bonus. It gives you a reward for having, a high tactic skill, I believe it is. So we can keep all of that here. SPAs are fantastic for really keeping things in a sort of role-playing mindset here. Awards are a main way to get experience to your units, to your personnel. So default settings are all going to be pretty good for the most part here. I don't want to change much of anything. Rank system. We can't do the second Star League in 3025. This is before that was a thing. So we're going to do the Star League Defense Force. I want to make sure all SPAs are in. It's just fine. Alright, and with that, we've got all of our default settings. We'll be playing on StratCon. Now, another thing about playing MegaMek is it starts with that little white bar at top, so I have to re-full screen it. We are going to start by activating GM mode. Now, you always want to be in GM mode. There's always something that's going to happen that either you don't like or isn't quite right. There's no undo button most of the time, so having GM mode activated means you can make a lot of correction decisions here. So anyway, I'm going to do one thing first, and we are going to effectively make our main character. Oh, that's the nickname. Do Airgun Rorschach here. He is going to be from Clan Jade Falcon and Ironhold. We'll make him a little older. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 25, 26. Here we go. BattleTech. We want to make 3, 4. Smart. So interesting about MegaMek and the characters, particularly when you recruit them, they will give them random personality traits and a generated background that can be pretty interesting. So we're going to go above average quirk. Going to kind of pick one at random here. Has a nemesis. That's nice. Social, inspiring, greed, ambition, driven, aggression, hot-headed. That is all fine with me. We definitely want him to have a little bit of tactics and leadership here. Oh, they put all the actual stuff towards the top. Strategy, leadership. 1, 2, 1, 2, just a little bit so he's not. And administration. He's going to be in charge of the group. Feel free to ask questions. Figure out what's going on. This is my first time. This is sort of mostly going to be a test of making sure everything's working here. So we're going to add him. All right, interstellar map. Somehow we've ended up on Galatea as a starting position. So a nice thing about MegaMek here is the interstellar map. All of the planets and all of space is detailed. But in any case, we are starting with Galatea, and we are going to go ahead and figure out our starting capital. Give me 1 second. So campaign operations has a specific table for generating your starting capital, and starts with 2d6. 3. Lovely. All right. So a 3 in 3025 is 10 million C-bills as starting capital. So that is, we are the brokest of the broke here. So we're going to go into the finances tab. Hopefully you can see my nice green mouse here. Add transaction. Transaction here. Starting capital. we get 10, 3, 1, 2, 3, 10 million. That's it. That's our starting funds. I will say we are going to get one free unit. Here it is not loaded, sadly. We have this guy. All right. Yep, we're gonna just add that. There we go. We have. So to start where we have the Marauder, and we have our pilot. Now, anytime you start a new unit, something you do have to do is set flags and make him your commander. And I'm going to say that even though he is clan personnel, we're going to remove the clan personnel tag just so that we're not dealing with that trauma. So that is going to be the limit here of what we do for non-rule set stuff. So we've got our main character, which actually, one second, I forgot that with the main character, first of all, we need to change the rank to, I forget, I'm going to call him Captain, because I don't remember inner sphere ranks, but we are going to edit him. What I always do with my one main character in each campaign is we're going to make them a bit of a power unit and give them natural aptitude gunnery and natural aptitude piloting, meaning they will roll 3d6 and take the 2 highest for both their piloting and gunnery rolls. I like to give us a character that we have to keep alive. We have a nice sort of like main character to root for. So here we go. And we're going to assign our pilot to that. So what do we have in our starting personnel market? All right. I mean, at this point, we need Aztecs. We need mech warriors. We're not going to fight this too much. Unit market. What do we got? So right now we have a Marauder. Going to be a heavy unit. What will go with it? I think we have Ostrak here, 15 heat things. 2 large lasers. It's going to overheat just by being alive. It's also 5 million. That's a lot right now. Stinger, machine gun, medium laser. I think we could use a Stinger. Crusader 3R. What do we got here? Export 3 million. We are going to purchase that. Purchase the Stinger. Ooh, stuff will be delivered in 90 days, 151 days. So right now we've got it set to have us deliver stuff. Ooh, ways away. Personnel, all personnel is here. Oh, it's an Aztec, not a Mech-Tech. All right. So in MegaMek, you need administrators. And we don't have any. So we are just basically be sitting around waiting for the personnel market to go through. All right. Continue as ordered. Medic. We need a medic. Hire. So I'm just going to hire mech warriors that have mechs to begin with, but they also, if they leave, they don't like you, the unit goes with them, and so on. So just figured either of these were for Shadowhawk. We are halfway through our funds already. and we've got some time to go before the mechs we bought actually get here. So we're just going to go ahead. We need mech techs. We need administrators. Any kind. Mech tech. There we go. Aztec. Make it through admin HR. Perfect. Regular. All right. Add transport. Yeah, I'm just going to see. This is why we have GM mode on, because that's way too long. So they're mothballed. Okay, speed things up here. We need a logistical admin, so bring that person in, and a veteran mech tech. We need more mech techs. We're running low. Mechanic soldier, admin command, mechanic. Alright, we are need a mech tech, and I believe, oh, here we go. Now we can assign it for some reason. Here, one more, here we go, doctor, good. And gunnery 5, pilot 5. Okay, we need one more mech tech apparently, and then we can get going. Battle armor tech, arrow tech. So there's just think it's 3025. We're in the inner sphere. No one knows anything about battle armor. But here is a battle armor tech for no particular reason. Oh, the beauty of random number generators. All right. Turnover check. Yeah. Roll. Stayed with us. We definitely need more Aztecs. Aztec is assistant technician, so every time all of your mech techs are, none of them are on the ground doing all the individual grunt work. Each mech tech is actually sort of the leader of a team of assistant technicians. One more mech tech. Elite Aztec. Yeah, whatever. We need more. Give me a mech tech. Aztec. One more mech tech. This planet has a lot of battle armor techs for no particular reason. There's a lamb pilot. Get going in a minute here. It's Monday, so this is a new week. To spend another 100,000 on trying to find more mech techs and not finding them. Okay, we are going to give it one more week, one more Monday. Bring the Aztec in. And then Monday, another 10,000 spent looking for a mech tech, and still battle armor tech, battle armor pilot. So we are just going to go ahead and go to the contract market. Estimated profit, nothing. All right. Hanger. We got it. We got a full lance. Let's try to take a contract. Salvage rights. So even though this says we're going to be losing money based off of certain things, we still might be able to make money through the salvage, and we can try negotiating. So salvage right 50%, I'm okay with it. Straight support. Let's try transport terms. There we go. And straight support. Nope, we filled in those. So we're just going to go ahead. Garrison duty, contract length, 21 months. Well, that is almost 2 years. That is a decent chance to. Oh, this is that's 10% straight support. This is just going to cost us everything. What if we renegotiate 40%? This is 1 month. Transport expense, 2A, 5 million. Monthly cost, advance money, 25%. Contract pay is not enough. Yeah, it's the transport fee that's really killing us in all of these. Let's see, this one here, 21 months. We only have to pay for transport once to get there, and it's 21 months of hopefully salvage. So it is March 7th. Let's try it. You've selected a garrison assignment. As part of this contract, the unit will be responsible for maintaining a defensive presence in your assigned sectors. However, we cannot predict when, or if, you'll be called to fight. Furthermore, we have no reliable intelligence on potential adversaries or the scale of any engagement that may arise. The provided data is for estimation purposes only. Situational developments may occur without warning, and you should be prepared for anything, from prolonged quiet to sudden large-scale conflict. Flexibility and readiness will be essential for the success of this contract. If you are prepared to assume this role, confirm your deployment. Otherwise, you may return to review other opportunities. Are we going to accept this? Alright, so we have the support of local supply depots. We don't actually have any of our own support forces at this point. So we are just going to go forward with this. Alright, and they are offering to mothball their units to save us some cost on the ride over. So we're going to click accept. Journey would take us approximately 83 days and cost pretty much a lot of what we're doing. We're just going to accept that. We're going to try this out and run this through. Alright. So here we go. Here is our journey through space. Heading all the way over here, and this is quite a lengthy trip. So we are going to take advantage of upper in the right hand corner here. Whoa. Let's just stay here. Oh, bit rate's lower than recommended. Interesting. Well, we'll figure that out. Anyway, so up here in the right hand corner, you'll see a couple of buttons that are particularly important as you play. With this one here that we're going to be using right now, advanced multiple days. Brings up the dialogue to sort of basically really speed up what we're going here. So I don't like to go too far unless I have a really stable and experienced group of techs and units and everything, because things will pop up. I generally find new week to be the best button. It will take you essentially from Monday to Monday. So we're going to click it. Okay. One of our Aztecs gave birth. Fantastic news. I'll be down shortly. So, Sandra Dallin gave birth to a baby boy at such and such local time, weighing 4.2 kilograms. Labor was longer than expected. There were a few tense moments that we had to manage some fetal distress. Sandra shows incredible resilience, and the medical team worked efficiently. I'm relieved to say both mother and child are now stable and resting. Fantastic news. Thank you. All right. So anytime you advance time, it's going to give you a dialogue here of everything that happened in the multiple days that we've gone through. So we have nobody performed maintenance on the Crusader because there we go. Well, because we don't have a mech tech to assign to it. And we're going to check the personnel market out in space. Nothing. And Sandra is given birth. And she's reconsidered the loyalty to the unit. Their loyalty has declined. And they've returned from leave. So, there we go. Interesting note, if you go to personnel, first of all, we should assign our mech warriors a rank. So select all of them, change rank. We're going to call them privates. So they're brand new people. So if you go to all personnel, there we go. Or you can go through here, there's a little dialog. So Arson Dale has been added to the personnel roster. So this is the child. So notice age 0, just recently born. You might want to actually, where is education, local academies, civilian, military crash, daycare. I'm assigning the child to daycare. Alright, and now back to advancing multiple days. New week. I'm just going to slide through here till we get to... Now, with upper in the left-hand corner, it's going to tell you how much time is remaining. So right now we are traveling to Crimond. We have 6 jumps remaining. It's generally about a week to 10 days per jump. So we should essentially be traveling for 6 more weeks. So click, click, click. We get low on funds, but we are almost there. Sometimes the window resizes itself. I have no idea why it does that. One jump remaining. Here we go. Now we're 5.65 days from the planet. 2, 3, 4, 5. On planet. So here is where your actual mission is going to start here, and you need to check out your briefing room and your requirements. And your TOE, Table of Operations and Equipment. So right now we've got nothing here. So we're going to add a new force of the Command Lance and assign all of our units there. So the commander, and here we go. Notice I did not type out a description for my main character here, but the way we set it up, giving him sort of some interesting traits, it's going to generate a dialogue here. So right now we have Captain Irgun Roshak. And interestingly enough, I'm not actually getting... Let's go to him. Yeah, the first name isn't filling in. Suddenly restrain our foreign concepts to blank. He meets every challenge, real or imagined, with immediate intensity. We're going to check this out here. Why? Aha, it's that. There. Okay, now let's try it. There we go. So we have our main character. Suddenly restrain our foreign concepts to Airgun. He meets every challenge, real or imagined, with immediate intensity. His first instinct always to escalate rather than back down. Airgun's ambition isn't just a trait, it's a force of nature. He doesn't hesitate, doesn't look back, and doesn't accept limitations. If there's a path forward, he'll find it no matter how steep the climb. And we have our other mech warriors that we brought around with us here. So let's check out Arso Jakanovic. Right, so this is a completely randomly generated character that we hired, and we have a little description here. Arso plays the long game, outmaneuvering competitors before they even realize there's a game being played. He makes alliances when they serve his goals, breaks them when they don't, and never loses sight of the bigger picture, his rise to the top. So we have a really ambitious guy joining us. He's a 5'5". Hold on to your ambition here. We have our 5'5" Gordana here. Gordana believes the best defense is an overwhelming offense, always pushing forward and keeping up the pressure. Hesitation is weakness, and she refuses to give her opponents a chance to recover. Very aggressive. And Grace. Grace's intelligence isn't just about knowledge, it's about application. She adapts on the fly, finds solutions where others see dead ends, and always seems to know exactly how to say or do to what to say or do to shift this situation in her favor. Grace has little patience for incompetence, delays, or pointless chatter. She gets frustrated easily, especially when things aren't going according to plan, and doesn't bother hiding her annoyance. Grace is smart, but she's not as smart as she thinks. She trusts her own logic over others, assuming she sees the bigger picture and dismisses advice too quickly. Most of the time, she's right, but the times she isn't, those are the ones that cost her. So she thinks she's smarter than she is, and is really dependent on her intelligence. So if she messes up in a mission, we might, complain. Oh, and she's married. Interesting. So that is our group of people here. But now that we've assigned them to a table of operations and equipment here, we can assign to the briefing room. So this mission requires us to have, if you look over here, a group under maneuver. And right now, our command lance here is under reserve. So we want to have them under maneuver. So each of these roles has a different benefit. So if you look, maneuver, this force rolls twice when reinforcing using the best roll. Frontline force, this force gains points based on its commander's tactical skill. These points can be spent to place mines before a scenario, or to support the force with infantry or battle armor for elsewhere in your TOE. patrol. When deploying this force, all adjacent hexes will be revealed, not just the hex the force deploys to. So that's sort of essentially your scouting force, is your patrol, training, auxiliary reserve. These come in handy depending on the area of operations. So we don't have control of this right now. Or do we do actually manage to deploy? We can send our scouts out. Excellent. So manage deployment. We're going to send command lines out. See what's on the map here. Nothing. Now they've returned. We're just going to slowly explore the map and see if a mission pops up. Turnover check. See what we got here. So because we have this elite admin logistical personnel, they are often gunning for a promotion, gunning to sort of, make more money somewhere else. So you have to make sure that, at the end of a month, there's a turnover check to see, well, do people want to stay with you? And here we have, you can offer a pay bonus to see if they stay. Here's the target number 1. It's a 2d6 roll. Target number 1 means it's impossible for them to leave. Target number 3, 1 in 36 chance. Well, we're gonna pay the 200 C-bills to keep them happy. And there we go. Alright, so incoming transmission. Captain, our employer has delivery ready for us, but is offering to expand it if we supply our own transports. We don't have our own transports. If I had a unit of, division of transports, of infantry, all of that, we might be able to get more supplies, more things as part of a convoy. We don't have that right now, so we obviously just have to refuse. Captain, we'd like to delete a little on our contract access to focus on specific types of supplies. This will be the cost of overall supply quantity. I think we just need a balance. We haven't actually played a mission yet, so. Speaking of supplies from our employer, we have some armor, we have SRM ammo, we have a cockpit, and then a bunch of everything in italics there is sort of RPG items that don't actually do anything. So just click accept and keep going. We can explore this map and see if we can pop our first mission. If it does at all. This is a garrison contract. It's entirely possible that nothing will happen. Which is not good. So we are pretty close to broke here. We got some fatigue on our guys. Interesting note here. Personnel. See fatigue. Because we've been sending them out and sending them out and sending them out to explore the map, they are getting fatigued. They're going to be suffering this also just constant operations. So we are going to just keep the personnel tab open to see that advance multiple days. Let's go to a new week, which was 1 day. Let's go to a new week again. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And let's do this one more. Yeah, we are here for a while. We're not. Alright, and how much fatigue? Fatigue 4. There we go. Let's keep exploring. 2, 3, 4, huh? Yep, we're already aware of you. Show supplies, there we go. Send them out again. Nothing. Oh. Nothing. Let's go ahead, new week. Keep our guys well rested. This is a garrison contract. Took this thing because we have a 50% salvage, and now we're not getting any salvage. Not getting any missions. 2, 5. You guys are rested. This is a long haul. 3, 5. Set this up this way so we don't miss anything. Badly fatigued, tired. All right. Here's an interesting randomness. All right. We received a direct submission from someone identifying themselves as Hopscotch. It's an offer of service, straightforward, professional, no security breaches or unusual activity involved, just direct communication. Hopscotch's message outlines their experience and the value they believe they could bring to the unit. It's not every day we get a cold offer like this, so what do you thought you wanted? Captain, shall I patch them through? Continue. Let's see what they have to say. Yeah, let's see what they have to say. Let me be clear, you don't need to know the details, and I'm not going to tell you. What matters is that I get results, and I make it look easy. I'm not asking for trust. Trust is for suckers. I make things happen, Captain. That's why you need me. Why your unit? Because you've got reach, influence. I can make problems disappear, secure deals that no one else can touch, and make sure that money flows in ways that keep us both happy. So, do you want clean, or do you want results? Sherry, quote, Hopscotch, Sandvik, Mech Warrior. Abilities, Jumping Jack. Ooh, we gotta have the Jumping Jack person. Pilot and Gunnery. RP skills. Yeah, 4/4 with Jumping Jack. Jumping Jack is... It reduces... Fighting characters cost 1 deploy points, get plus a point. Negative. Well, this is fine. So Jumping Jack means... Instead of the +3 to shooting when they jump, it's a +2, or it's a +1. I can't remember. I can't remember which it's Hopping Jack or Jumping Jack is the one. So, but they've got Jumping Jack to begin with, so we need them. Welcome to the team. We have an excess Mech Warrior now, which I am fine with. If you look at the hangar, we have this Stinger, and we are going to switch it up. Put Hopscotch in the mech that can jump. Alright. Let's get going here. Area of operations. Nothing. New month. Everybody wants to go. Total payments of 1,000 sea bills. Well, we're getting broke here, but accept all of that. There's a Thunderbolt up for grabs that might be worth grabbing. Could be useful addition. This auction is being conducted for money, but support resources. We need to be careful though. Sacrificing too much here may leave us vulnerable. So, minimum bid was set at 1 support point. You have 1 support point. Well, we've got. Let's use it. Nope. We do not get it. These are interesting dialogues I've not seen before in terms of previous runs. But I haven't done a 30-25 MegaMek run, a Mech HQ run in this version. This is 50.6. All right. Human. Yeah. So we're losing money every month. So we're just going to have to go ahead. Whatever is here, I'm just going to sell all of it. Look, we're back up over. So all of the supplies we've been getting, we just sold. How's our people doing? Warriors? No fatigue anymore? Great. Let's see if we can't explore the last little bits of the map. Huh? Hey, critical convoy. We've got our first mission. Critical convoy escort. It's a turning point, which means if we lose, we might lose the whole mission. So, here we go. An allied convoy carrying critical supplies is moving through hostile territory, and a large, heavily armed enemy force is preparing to intercept. Your mission is to ensure that at least 50% of the convoy reaches the far edge of the engagement area intact. These supplies are essential to sustaining our war effort, and failure is not an option. The enemy will come in force, but their attack is not unstoppable. If a full escort proves untenable, you have an alternate path to victory. Should at least 50% of the convoy survive while you destroy or rout 50% of the attacking enemy force, the mission will be considered a success. Breaking their offensive will allow our convoy to continue forward without further resistance. We will control the field at the end of the battle, giving you full authority to dictate the engagement on our terms. Use the terrain, stagger defenses, and counter their assault with precision. Hold the line, protect the convoy, and ensure these supplies reach their destination. Victory here will secure our war effort in this sector. Your employee has deployed you alongside an integrated force. Comm Center. Additional Allied ground forces are approaching the area. 50% of the falling forces must reach the far edge of the map, +3 scenario victory points if succeed. The Lion Commonwealth Convoy. Destroy around 50% of the falling forces, +1 scenario victory points if succeed, -1 if failed. Draconis Combine opposition forces. Preserve 50% of the falling forces. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we need to preserve them and get them to the other side. So here is where we need to go over. So there's 3 important option dialogues here, which is campaign options. That's sort of what we went through at the start. That's sort of your campaign. We're pretty much running with the veteran campaign presets with commander initiative because I like that. Then we have MegaMek options and Mech HQ options. Mech HQ options are essentially going to be your options for the program itself. So we're going to go through here. The most important one is the New Day options here, which fill Aztec pool, fill medic pool, run mass repair, mass salvage, optimize medical assignment. So you probably want these. Do you particularly want run, mass repair, and mass salvage? Because that means at the beginning of every day in your repair bay, it's going to run this and whatever settings you saved here. So we are going to go through and make sure that these are all on, and we get to save the options. The defaults they're going to run. All right, save all of these. So these are the options that are going to run at the start of every day. Now, before we actually begin a MegaMek game, let's go through the options. So this is still, I believe, using my settings that I like to use. Here we go. Advanced rules, team supervision, stack ups, quirks, hidden units. No, this is still. It's not using a lot of the advanced and optional rules that I would normally run in a MegaMek campaign, but for this one, we are just going to use some of the basic default settings. So, we are going to make sure teams roll initiative. That's one I really like, where instead of each individual unit having initiative, teams have initiative, and you sort of alternate within a team. So it's not like you know, I roll, forces have to go, then the next player, and so on. It's each side of the fight rolls and goes, so that if you were playing with allies, you can say, "Hey, I don't want to go right now," and tell your ally to go, and so on. So I feel it's a much better way to do it. All right, allowed goods, allowed statement experimental. I think we just want to make sure combat initiative rules, RPG related, test abilities, edge, official commander initiative. I believe we're all set here. All right. Boom. The mission starts on November 4th. And there's a second. We've got 2 days. 1, 2. All right. First mission. Let's go. All right. Well, actually, let's go back to the game here. An allied convoy carrying critical supplies is moving through hostile territory and large heavy armored forces. Okay, this is the same briefing just went through. Employees deployed alongside your force, comm citrus. So we're going to commence the drop, and I'm going to make sure that the MegaMek screen pops up just time. So here we go. All right, MegaMek has loaded up here, and you can see the MegaMek screen here. It's auto-populated with all of the units at the skill level. So important things to note, first off, right off the bat. The game options button up here, that's the button you want to go to check all your settings, and for each individual scenario it's important to do victory conditions. Because if you don't set this, the game will just keep running and you have to do a /victory to end it. So I always like to skip all phases of the force victory occurs, so if we know we won, we can end. If we know we've lost it, we can end it. And we are going to go destroy enemy BV. We need to destroy, I'm going to say, so the scenario itself says we need to destroy 50%. Now, BV versus tonnage, what is actually 50% of destruction and so on? We could try to count the number of units and try to figure out like ratio to friendly. Like I think it's just more convenient and easy if you're trying to keep playing this to set the BV, and I like to set it a little bit higher. So we're going to go with 55% of BV destroyed. That way, you know, it's kind of dubious. What is 50%? 55. That feels like it's the next level up. It's a clear majority of the enemy is destroyed or disabled. So click OK. Another important thing to take note of is you can set the enemy's AI. We want the convoy here. I probably would actually rather have control over the convoy, but it seems like, yeah, the BV isn't quite fair. But we are, in which case, let's take those units. Let's take the convoy, and oh my gosh, it's loader mechs with terrible pilots. I'm just going to go ahead and change the owner and give them to me, because they're going to do stupid stuff. And so they're going to be under my direct command here. And with that said, no, let's just play with the default. Let's play with the default. Let's at least make sure bot settings. Here we go. We are going to set them to cowardly. We do not want them thinking they can run up to an enemy and attack them anyway. So make sure cowardly, auto flee board, forced withdrawal to nearest yes. Great. And with that, we are going to get this started. So All the loader mechs. We need to protect the loader mechs. Danger. Okay. I missed that there's actually chat happening. Whew! Sorry, I put like got off the side window here. Okay. Protect the shoe convoy. Yep. Those lion generals need shiny new shoes. You must make successful delivery. Hopefully. Yep, good shoes are great. Is your team initiative affected by command unit bonuses or that kind of optional? So here you can actually see that. I wonder if I can zoom in on this thing. On the streaming thing. Can I zoom in a little bit? Yes, I can actually zoom in a little bit. So if you notice here, Team 1 rolls a 9, 8 plus 1. So this is where you have the commander sort of initiative coming into play here. It's that +1 for the team. If you notice, the Draconis Combine Op 4 has 5, 4 plus 1. So they have a commander in there as well that's going to be giving them a bonus. Let's see if I can resize this. This is my first time using this streaming software, so bear with me here. I want to try to give you that zoom in here. I should probably figure out how to do a quick zoom in. Yeah, these things, the convoy is not going to be doing very well. All right, so Team 1, we won initiative. All right, we have remaining units to deploy. We have allies coming in on round 8. So we are kind of out of luck and get to deal with these guys on our own. So done. All right, our units are going to try to get to the north. Let's look at the map. This is a rather large map, and our enemies are starting in the center here. Pilots have nicknames. We have a gunnery 5-6, 4-5, 5-6, and 3-4. So Panzer here in the Stinger. Oh, thank goodness it's the Stinger. This is the one pilot to be afraid of. And the rest, not so much. But, alright, we've got... Oh boy, our convoy is deployed on the other side of this giant lake. Where are they going to try to cross? I don't know, but this is the joy of the randomly generated maps here, because... What is this? What is this giant river we're going to have to cross? Alright, let's do this. Deploying our forces. And I just noticed something here. Client settings. Audio. We are going to turn it off. Yeah, we're going to mute these. We don't need sounds coming into this. All right. Round 1. Okay, we lost initiative. That's the important thing. All right. Oh boy, there's something I missed. Temperature 49°, it's kind of high. Gravity. Weather, torrential downpour. Wind, moderate gale. Yeah, well, it's not just the water. The torrential downpour and moderate gale, they're going to be moving very slow. Now, an important thing to note if you're playing MegaMek and you're dealing with weather conditions, there is generally an option. Is it not down here? To move recklessly, the reckless button. Oh, because I've declared my movement. Escape cancels whatever order you've done. That's an important trick. Now, if you assign this, you can also use backspace to go backwards. So I'm going to end this. Reckless means you normally will ignore movement penalties, but I guess because of certain terrain conditions, it doesn't even matter. So we're just going to run forward 2 hexes. Crusader. Yeah, the storm is definitely going to be affecting 2-hit numbers. I forget the exact. Well, we'll see it once we get to the shooting phase. We can start to see the numbers here. Hopscotch. Does it affect your jump? I believe it doesn't. So Hopscotch, you are in luck. You're going to be just wrecking house, hopefully. So up here in the panel here, this shows all the details about your pilot. Yeah, interesting. I wonder if there's a way. Let's transform. Okay, no quick, easy way to zoom here, but yeah, the Marauder is going to be the most important thing. Our main character, and very importantly, this is also why I like to give the main character MegaMek of natural aptitude, pilot, and gunnery, just because of you get these random scenarios like this. You want a hero, you want something to avoid the drudgery that can be these kind of settings here. So, all right, we're just going to move the Wyvern, have him jump. We should probably client settings here. Unit tooltips, unit display. Yeah, we want to watch them move now. Game board, animate movement. Yep. Is there a way to slow down their movement so we can watch it? I forget exactly. They just zippity-dooed out around. Okay, let's bump up the scale here. Alright, unit display. I'm not seeing it. I'm not going to go hunting too long in there. I'll try to remember that for the next time we do this. All right. So movement report. Now it's going to be shooting. So here we have our main character here. Let's see just how painful it is. +6, yeah. So base 4 gunnery, +2 for the torrential downpour, +2 for running, +4 for the target's movement, +2 medium range. So the torrential downpour is going to be a +2 to all shots. So that's a 2-hit of 14. They're both at 14. That is horrifying. We have this guy on 12, this guy on 3. Now, a handy thing about MegaMek is it gives you the little percentile right next to what you're doing. So normally a 12 would be about a 2 or 3%, but because we have natural aptitude gunnery, it's a lot better, but still not great. We have heat built up. So we have 24 heat sinking. So we can still fire our PPCs. We do also have the LB10. And it's still affected by everything, but still impossible. All right. Another handy trick for MegaMek. Shift A and Shift D. That is your torso twist. So you don't have to right click and torso twist all the time. So we're going to go here. Yeah, 12's the PPCs. We have an LB10 on 11. We're going to make that shot here. Heat 2, we have 22, 24, so we're not going to overheat by firing that. And so That's all the shots for the Marauder. Crusader. You should probably switch from damage to high-low. You've got your medium lasers. Can you even hit this? 14 and 14. You have nothing there. LRMs. That is medium range. That's going to be 11s. You have 8 shots. I'm not going to waste ammo on that. All right, hopscotch. You've got your medium laser. You've got your medium laser up close. You're shooting on 11s, but you know what? It's a laser. You built up 6 heat out of your 10. Let's fire that one laser here. What do we got here? They are 3-4. These vehicles are actually scarier than the mech. So here we go. 3-4. You're the primary target. And we can't hit with the machine guns. Wyvern. What do you got? Large laser? On 18s? Nah. That's not worth it. Here we go. 12 rolls 7 misses. These 12 rolls 8 misses. LB10 needs 11 rolls 10 misses. They managed to hit my Crusader. And they're using Infernos. Hit with 1 Inferno, 2 more heat. Thankfully, he didn't really fire much of anything. And that is it. That is not much of anything to report on this turn. Heat phase. Nothing to report. Alright, new round. New round begins. We've got an initiative of 13. 12 plus 1. So we've got it. Alright. Okay, so we're around here. I'm going to wait for our main guy. And we're going to select... Honestly, the Crusader doesn't really need to move. We're going to try to get those shooting numbers up here. Hopscotch, you'll wait. A large laser, we've got some range. We're just going to send you on a walk here. Alright. And we're going to let our allies move. Oh, nope. Our allies can't. Alright, we've got Welder in this tank here as a 4-5 with the flamers and the medium laser. We've got Dream with a 5-6 medium lasers, Rosewater and Thorn. We've got a 4-5 and a 3-4. None of these have very impressive guns, but they just outnumber us. Alright, Marauder. Can you move recklessly walk? No, you can't. Well, we're going to take advantage of the rain, move a little forward more, and watch their vehicles run away. Look at that. 6. Alright. Over there. Alright. Movement phase. They made a bunch of moves that require rolls here. Note the +2 piloting checks in look at the +2 piloting checks in the rain. That is going to suck the moment anything starts taking serious damage. Alright, on the shots here. Speaking of, we've got 10s on the champion, 11s on the stinger. The champion is the biggest thing on their side. It is a 4-5. If we can somehow manage to hit it with both of the PPCs, LB is on a 9, which with the natural aptitude gunnery is actually a 52%. But I want that PSR. So we're going to go with a solid slug on 36% chance. So we're firing 3 guns at just about 1 in 3 chance. So probably only hit for 10, but there's a chance we hit for 20, get the PSR, and that thing falls. So That's what we're looking for. We do not need to worry about a secondary target medium laser or anything, because that is a 2-hit of 16. Yeah, the LB can make really quick work of tanks, but I'm not overly worried about the tanks just yet. Crusader with your LRMs, is anything a worthwhile target? Because I have to pay for ammo with those LRMs, and we do not have many. Like, we do not have many reloads. Tens, I'm not doing tens, and nothing is ranged in the medium later, so skip you. They're centering fire on the Marauder, which is probably the better idea. You have a long range shot here on the tank at 15. That's not doing anything, so you're not firing. Alright, we're ready. You've got your large laser. Is anything even possible? 13s, no. Alright. Nope, we hit with the LB-10. Solid shot. 10 damage. And then it's just a big series of whiffs. Apologize, the first fight here is just going to be a long slog through this weather, but that is what you get with MegaMek. Alright, we won initiative. So if we save the Marauder for the last move, or save Hopscotch the last move, we can end up with something nice here. Okay. Let's let our allies make all of their moves first. I'm just going to keep hitting the next player button. Alright. Take a look at the scenario situation here. None of their vehicles have moved. They seem to be saving their vehicles for last. That's the most annoying part. I want to see where the vehicles go. And look, Warhammer showed up. Secutor. Yeah, good night. Thank you for joining on this little stream of mine here. Oh, night fights. Poor weather sucks. It's not it's not good night you're leaving. It's saying night fights suck. I'm sorry, but like, hey, they do. Eddie, I forgot to check the weather settings and use strategy to do a reroll at the start of this, and I'm trying to keep myself honest and just play with the settings they give me. But this is why you play with GM mode, so you can manually edit these things if you catch them. But I am stuck in this hell, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. So we're just going to walk forward here. Crusader, you're going to stand still. Hopscotch. You are going to probably have to jump forward over here and actually defend things. Because we've got vehicles that moved and occupy the hex with their wyvern here. It looks like most of our convoy units are relatively safe because they can't actually go anywhere. Nobody is going anywhere, but we're going to back up one hex this way. Yeah, I think at this point, yeah. Oh, I think at this point, our best bet is just to hope we kill enough. Have to play stop attack. Yeah, at this point we just hope that we kill enough that we hit that BV mark. So this champion here, the 4-5, where is its BV? It's always hidden somewhere in here. BV, yeah, 1,116. So of their forces, grand total for everyone, I think, is almost like 9,000. So, but we don't have to worry about everybody. In any case, anyway, right. He's the big target, and we're just going to keep on that. We want to eliminate the high BV things first. Let's see if we can't get rid of things. Now, you are in range of the medium lasers, but those are on 12's secondary target. Not worth it. Crusader, what Do you have any worthwhile shots with their LRMs? You do not. Lasers are a no. LRMs are a no. You're not making yourself particularly worthwhile here. But you've got 10s. You've got 10s on that Crusader. Let's see if we can't get a little extra damage there and make sure we get. So the champion isn't actually their best gunnery out of their mechs. The champion is a 4-5. Their best gunnery is this guy here? No. Where is it? Oh, it looks like they got some new units joining in the fight here. 4-5, 4-5, 4-5. Where is it? I think it's their Stinger. The Stinger, it's a little light mech. Where's it? Panzer that's right in front of them. I missed it. Yes, 3-4. Their Stinger has their best gunnery, which is kind of, you know, like, oh, your Stinger can potentially actually hit me. Oh gosh, no. I'd say, what are you going to do? Hit me with a medium laser? But that's exactly it. They're just going to hit me. Ah, biggest gun. Yeah, no, the champion is definitely the biggest gun. Alright, we're just going to make shots on that thing. Alright, both of these targets are equally, but we want to show the details here. We want to see if there's, yeah, we want to hit the one with the 3-4 pilot. And it is, that's from 6 on 12. Why is it 12? Ah, the Gale. The moderate Gale is making missiles worse, so, well, it looks like you're firing your lasers at the target in front of you and seeing. Well, the problem here is normally we're like, yay, let's kick the vehicles, but that the weather at +2 is not going to be particularly useful. Alright, so we've got actually some stuff happening here. So what happens? Look at that. The Marauder hits twice. There's your PSR. So 0 armor remaining on the right arm, 6 armor remaining on the right torso. The Crusader also managed to hit. Needs a 10. 9 missiles. There we go. Crusader does get hit back with a medium laser. And Infernos. Forget about those, but yeah, so their tanks are firing Infernos. Yeah. Yeah. Wind effects, missiles, but not lasers. Realism, correct. It's my favorite is the laser inhibiting fog, laser inhibiting smoke that you can have a special artillery shell. Alright, here we go. Stinger needs 10 hits. Motive hits. There we go. We're making some progress, but ooh, gyro hit on the Wyvern. That's not good. That's not good at all. And here we go. Piloting hills. Wow, succeeds. The Wyvern needs an 11. Yeah, Navigator just decided Arrow 4 ammo type. Yep. Yeah, needs an 11, rolls an 11. RNG is loving me. And Champion needs 9, rolls an 11. So I said they're loving me, but also loving the Champion here. And we're on to kicks. And just see what the numbers are. So this is a hopscotch on a kick. Hey, that's actually not bad. I'm pretty sure the PSR, if you miss, is going to be bad. But on a 6, 70% chance, I want to hurt this thing. So we're going to do the kick. You lost your gyro. What is your kick going to be? Ooh, still 7. We want it. We're doing it. We're playing it risky here. Needs 6, rolls 10 hits. Needs 7, rolls 10 hits. So great. 9 damage to turret, 4 damage to front, so 21 armor and 15 armor remaining. So not very hard hits, but progress is being made. Okay, Crusader gained 2 heat. That is exactly the amount of heat that was dealt to it in Infernos. So, you know, Champion gained 5 heat. Welcome to 3025. Welcome to mechs that do not have double heat sinks. We do have reinforcements coming, but they are still 4 more rounds out. Let's check the BV numbers. So, yep, they're at 97%. We're at 99. This is going to be a minute. All right, Marauder. I'm just going to back you up there. Move a little bit. Crusader, you're still going to stay still. Now, I realize I don't have to move these units in this order, but sometimes it's just more convenient if you don't have any real moves to make now. Wyvern lost its gyro. It really can't do much of anything. We are going to back it up. Okay, so we have one of our Powerman biped mechs, one of these industrial mechs, in its first dangerous situation here. We should probably go try to defend it or do something about it. So in which case, Hopscotch is going to run to defend. Here you go, Hopscotch. Huh? Fails. Slide slips. Alright, here we go. Their best gunnery unit, is that him? Yep, their best gunnery unit in the Stinger has moved up close to the Marauder. Yes, in minimum range. Okay, those are 11s. Those are not fun, but yeah, none of this is actually fun. What are the shots on the Crusader here? 9s? 9s versus 11s? Yeah, I think we're still just continuing with the Crusader. Making those shots. I think we can take out that guy. LRM's here on Panzer. Those are on 13s. Medium lasers on 12s. Do we even have another target? We do have the Crusader on 10s. And this guy on 10s. With random Phoenix Hawk. Well, yeah, let's just make work on that Crusader. Let's get something in. The problem with birdshotting it right now is I really want the PSRs. So 1 PPC and a solid shot is a PSR. The birdshot, while it could be trying to get a critical somewhere, normally I would in standard regular fights, but because of that torrential downpour, that's an extra +2 on top of the +1 for the PSR. So we're looking at base 8s to stand, and that's better than even odds. You get the pilot hit, you get the mech down. So because I'm aiming for the PSR, I'm not going to do the birdshot. Birdshot on 8s is something like, with the natural aptitude, I think 60-something%. All right, Wyvern, your shots. You've got your large laser. You can shoot on 13. You can shoot on 13. Yeah, you got nothing. You're skipping. Hopscotch. And a nice jumper. You are going to try to defend this power lifter dude. And there we go. Well, 1 hit for 10, critical hit on foot. There is a PSR. Not the PSR I was looking for, but is a PSR. Ooh, 2. So, glancing blow to near low profile. Forgot the Marauder has that. So, yeah, that is half damage on an exact hit. Nothing else to report. That's why, right there, blacks out. The champion pilot is blacked out. That's why we want that PSR. And here we go for physicals. And the guy with 7 piloting but tried to make a kick. Needs a 10. Rolls 9, misses, and then just completely collapses. Great. Thanks, ally. Thanks, AI. There it is. Needs to avoid critical damage due to falling 1 levels. Critical hit on right arm. 2 locations. Lifting, hoist, and shoulder. Great. Alright. We won initiative again, which doesn't actually matter all that much. You are not going to run with your damage gyro. Just going to walk forward, try to get in better range. Stinger, you're going to go last. Alright, let's let my ally move some mechs here. Hold on. Yeah, the AI. I'm excited for when they release the Casper AI, because maybe that'll make some better decisions. But we need to find, yes, a dragon piloted by a MechWarrior whose nickname is Milkshake. This dragon brings all the boys to the yard. Ooh, good point. The Crusader can do things to the immobile champion. Hopefully. Do we get that minimum movement? No, we're just going to stand still with the Crusader. There's no actual point in moving. And yeah, moving through water is probably also not a good option. Let's let our allies keep moving. Alright, so the Marauder might have to turn and deal with some of these vehicles. Three, 4, 5, 6, landing on that? Do we want to go there? Another key. Yeah. Hello, Derek. Yeah, this campaign, this is the first run of the campaign, the first mission of it. This is set in 3025. My headcanon is that in 3025, one of the clans decided to send a single mech warrior to be a mercenary into interstellar space because they did not like how the wolves were the only ones to get the information from the wolves dragoons. So we have just our one main character, a secret clan watch operative who showed up with some pocket change and started a mech warrior group. And that is Ergon Roshak over here. And now we have just a bunch of randomly generated mech warriors, randomly picked 3 of the mechs. The Marauder and the Marauder Pilot are our only sort of non-by-the-rules units. The secret operative got a special Marauder, and that's all we got. I made a random roll earlier for how much money we started with, which was virtually nothing. The actual campaign itself right now is flat broke, but we're trying to make this work. Oh boy. Yep. That loader mech that fell down tried to stand up and kill itself. Blacked out and ejected. Alright, so we've lost one of our 4 convoys that we have to protect due to their own incompetence. Let's see how this goes. This is a turning point. This could potentially end the whole contract. Oh boy. Ah, Greenburb is Girdburb. Yes, I am a Jade Falcon man through and through, but there's something just this isn't my first time playing through 3025 campaigns on MegaMek, and there's something beautiful about 3025 campaigns of just the weird janky dirtiness of all the simplicity. Playing in Ill Clan is just, it's more I don't know. It's so much more complicated in all of the things you can do. It feels like a completely different game versus here. You get a good mech with a good pilot and maybe a little bit of tech, and you just outshine everything. In any case, all right. Rosewater is a 3/4. We have. Oh, we don't want to do the imp shot. We have these guys here 4/5, 4/5. It's all the same range bracket, so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do. And yes, now is when we bring out the cluster rounds on the AC-10. And it's worth 5 mediums. It is not. All right, Crusader. There we go. Immobile. Still shooting on 9s because of all the stupid conditions here. But we're making those shots. Now we have Hopscotch. You're going to add some extra fire to this vehicle. Because this is the 3/4 pilot. That's the tank we want to get rid of first in this weather. It's also easier to hit. There we go. Throw all my shots to see what happens here. There we go. LB-10 doing its job. Getting those motive hits. Vehicle immobile. Perfect. Now, as long as our allies don't do something to cause them to fall, like try to kick, I think we might, we're making progress here. So, here we go. So PPC miss, PPC miss. Cluster ammo hits. We get the immobile. We get a bunch of other potential criticals here. LRMs miss. Inferno hits the Wyvern, but that's going to put him over 1 heat. He's not really going far. Yeah. There's still at least like start a main character in the Centurion double head capped on consecutive turns on rival Merc Captain's Marauder. Yeah. Alright. Got hit with some flamers, some extra heat. Ooh. Oh no, just damage. We're not using the optional rule for flamers doing heat and damage. So just damage on the Wyvern, which is just fine with me. You do not want that thing to overheat. Crusader took a little bit. The Crusader's going to be fine. They do not have a lot of firepower. Okay. You're facing that way. Hopscotch. What is your kick on 6? We'll go ahead and do that. Wyvern, your kick is on 7, but you have a gyro. We're not gonna have that happen. There we go. Another immobile vehicle. Making headway on some of the big threats. Yeah. I love classic BattleTech. I love the Total Warfare rule set because even playing in person in a competitive sense is what we do locally. The game writes its own narrative. There's no way to play classic BattleTech that doesn't have a narrative construct as part of it because, a mech runs forward, tries to kick another mech in the head. It's like if you're vulnerable, it misses, it falls, it lands on its own head. The hubris of that mech warrior just sort of like getting so excited to try to kick the other cockpit off, falls and dies and like injures himself. Like these epic moments that can only happen in classic. We are doing fine for heat. Our Warhammer ally is starting to gain heat and apparently is participating, but probably missing. Yeah, the only reason I have a Crusader is because I needed a mech and it was on the market and the other options were worse. Like, they're solid, beefy things, but in my opinion, They occupy space rather than doing a lot of work. If you need something to have a lot of health and sit there, get a Crusader. If you need something to accomplish objectives, probably not a Crusader. But here we go, another move phase. All right, we're going to let our allies go through. We want to be able to respond to the enemy position, specifically on those vehicles. And we also want to be able to move and defend our guys here. So let's still do a double check. Where are our convoy members? So we have a convoy member, Zombie. That's kind of apt. Crusader 3D. It's a 3R. Mercenary business. The mech you have is 100% better than the one you don't have. Absolutely correct. Having a mech is better than not having a mech. So we have Zombie and Danger Noodle still alive and operational. Those are our two. I'm trying to find if we have our other guy. We should be running forward. I don't see our other guy. There's the downed one right there. Aphrodite, are you part of your integrated allies here? All right, this is where round report. Convoy team. 3 to 4 units remaining. So is he part of the convoy team? Blue? No, he's part of integrated allies. All right, we're missing one of the guys we have to defend. We're missing one of the guys we have to defend somewhere. Hopefully not over here. I might just be blind, but in any case, we've got units to move. And here's an easy one. We're going to back up with the Wyvern because it can't run anyway. Crusader, you're just going to do what you've been doing and stay still and try to shoot stuff. Marauder, you have choices with. Honestly, as much as I don't like Panzer being behind him, that choice might just be to stay still. This torrential rain, everybody's hurting with that +2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Get it closer to there. Okay. You got 2 immobile targets next to you. Back up there. No. Well, you know what? You've got jumping jack. 1, 2, 5, 6. We're gonna toss you right there. All right, the champion stood up. He woke up and stood up. That's what's up. Ha ha ha. All right, so we took a pilot hit, followed conscious. Let's see if we can get that again. All right, solid shot. 68% chance. Was that solid or was that cluster? Definitely solid. There we go. Yep. Going after that Crusader. The Crusader is threatened by him. We want to try to get just a medium laser off on that Stinger. Stinger is not a lot of health. That probably won't take much to help bring that thing down. So if you didn't know, there's a lovely feature here that you can get is right-click, weapons, alpha strike. If you know you're going to fire everything, you can just fire everything. Here we have an immobile target in front of the Wyvern. So we have our best shots we've ever potentially had on this thing. Keep build up 2. Aim at the right. I think if you look left side, you might actually want to shoot the other one and bring it down. Turret. I'm going to aim for the turret. And we'll gain some heat. We'll fire the Airstream 6. Let's see if we can eliminate that thing. Those are all of our shots. See what it. Hey! First kill. First death. Ammo explosion on the enemy champion. Granted, we need salvage to make money. This contract as a 50% salvage, and that's what we need. So seeing this thing die to explosion, as nice as it is to not like lose the mission, seeing it die means like seeing it die this way means no salvage. It is not going to be recoverable, and that's sad. All right, scroll through here. That's the obvious important thing to pay attention to. Then it looks like we mostly just have a lot of misses, but come down to our stinger, Hopscotch, our basically our second best guy, coming through, who immobilizes another vehicle. Fantastic. Dead champion manages not to connect. Yeah, I'm gonna try for the little ones. We'll see if I can get some amount of something out of here. Large laser. Here we go. Yeah, the Wyvern trying to target that immobile thing. Not hitting for much, but does manage to deal a little bit more damage. Scroll through. This is just the slog of weather. Kicking an immobile target on 2. I think you can do this. Same here. Can you kick an immobile target on 0? We have to defy the laws of physics to make this miss. Crew stunned. Vehicle immobile. The Stinger kicks on 5, hits the 5 on the Crusader. Crusader managed to stand, rolls a 12. I forgot the dangers of being kicked. It's like, oh, it's the Stinger's behind the Crusader. That's not that big of a deal. The Crusader's got enough health. Stinger's got enough guns. The kick. Alright, no worries about heat just yet. It is round 7. Our allies aren't showing up just yet. I'm feeling a bit better about this. They are at 79% BV. We're at 92. We're still doing alright. The guys we have to protect. This is the important part. The convoy team, Team 1, 76%, 3 out of 4 units remaining, 75%. So it seems like the unit that died is the only one that's taken any damage. So doing okay. Alright, new phase. Let's get next player until our allies have all moved. We want to be able to see what our enemy does and respond. Sure, enemies can then see what the guys we have to protect, where they've moved, but they're all AI. They're all kind of, you know, doing what AI does. Alright, Crusader. Let's at least rotate. You're just going to stay still, Wyvern. They're moving their vehicles around. Crusader's dead. Havoc here in the Shadowhawk is not... Wolverine, excuse me. The Wolverine hasn't moved very far. Not much of a TMM, so that would be nice. A good choice target. But I was worried about some of the vehicles going after the guys who have to protect, but this guy, Zombie, is just sitting here in the line of fire of these mechs that are coming our way, which is not good. So we want to make sure that we can defend him a little bit and block his path. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Double punches and answer shots, but those they have to get in close, and it's not like the Crusader is the most mobile of platforms. But we are going to jump back here and see if we can't get rid of some targets here. Alright. Their Stinger jumps into a bog. It might be bogged down. Speaking of, yes, stuck. Their best pilot is now stuck in a marsh. Good for us. Alright, Havoc. Oh, shooting you on 11s. Ugh. And you, over here, shooting you on 9s. What are you, the Phoenix Hawk? 9s, 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 52%. Let's go for that PSR. Let's keep at it. Main character doing lots of work. Crusader, you actually have some decent shots here. You want to go on the right. Aiming for that right rear. And what's the shot of the missiles here? Let's fire him. Let's fire one of them. Let's get some SRM action in here. Hopscotch. Hopscotch, you've been going after nickname Rosewater, the J. Edgar light hover tank. Yeah. No, yeah, the Phoenix Hawk itself, which would be fantastic. If that thing falls and the pilot gets knocked out and we can target it, that would be great. That falling damage, I think, is killing the meat, saving the metal. That's what we're going for. All right, we are aiming. If we can get rid of through the turret, I think that's the goal. Can you shoot that guy for any decent numbers? Large laser? Yes. Large laser and 8s. We're doing it. All right. We got 2 hits on the Phoenix Hawk. There's the PSR. Let's see what happens from that further down. Crusader does hit with its SRM. Dealing some nice damage there. The vehicle is already immobile, so the immobile hit doesn't actually matter that much. Yeah, we're not getting hit. They're not really returning much damage here. Hopscotch got the tank, got that kill, dealt most of the damage to it, too. We keep going down, and not a lot of anything else to report. The Stinger, their best gunner, did actually hit the Wyvern, the Not Dragon for 5, but it's not amounting to much of anything. Except it still, where else did it take damage? It took 5 from the laser, took 5 from another laser, and it did get hit by a 3rd laser, 2 flamers, still not a full 20 damage. There it is. Got hit by 4 medium lasers, triggering a PSR, so that is base 5 piloting. Base 5 piloting, gyro hit, plus the base for the PSR and weather. So that's 3, 4, 6. Base 11s, right? Here we go. Yeah, needs a 12, rolls 5, falls. Yep. Takes 1 damage. 2 total hits. Oh, because it took damage to the head. Yeah. There we go. But we got the Phoenix Hawk falling with a pilot hit, so we're making progress in killing that meat. Still need to save our meat. Physical attacks. Let's kick that tank, immobile tank. Needs a -1. Hey, what do you know? It hit. Yeah, it's not standing back up. The Not Dragon is being left on the ground. Round report. We're still at 96. Yeah. And we're still things are looking good. Their whole team's at 76 Vex. We're halfway through. We're halfway through. And things will just get easier. Alright. You're at least gonna rotate, but you're gonna stay on the ground. Crusader, don't need to move. Our reinforcements arrived. Alright, let your allies move. So reinforcements here. We have a stalker called Hang Up. A crusader called Squishy. Yeah. A crusader called Squishy. Lovely. Flounder in a black Zeus? Zeus. Oh my gosh. So I for a second was excited to see, hey, we've got a Zeus backing us up. It's a 6/7. That thing is not going to make any progress. But we still have our Stinger here. We have 1 vehicle left operational. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can get pretty darn close to it. That may have not been the best spot, I just realized, because it's on the line. might not be able to see it because of like the level 1. Alright, Marauder. The Shadowhawk stood still, and Phoenix Hawk is still prone, so it's going to be harder to hit, but you've got an easy target in front of you. You're going to skip move it. There we go. Right. Here we go. Easy shots. Let's get that PSR again. Make this hurt. How's the Stalker? Let's find out. Let's take a look. So, oh, there's a second Stalker. So, Hang Up, the Stalker, is a 6/7, and Syrup, the Stalker, is a 5/6. Honestly, that's just reinforcing Stalker and cheerleaders. Apparently, there's 2 Stalkers. This is like the training cadre. They're just like they've got the training wheels on. If you ever driven behind a car that was just kind of like going 20 miles per hour to 45, some little kid clutching the wheels, and you don't realize what's going on. Why are they driving so terribly until you notice the student driver sticker? And these mechs definitely have they might as well have just like a big bright painted like student driver sticker just right on the side, because goodness gracious. Of course this is Steiner, so they're driving around Mommy and Daddy's assault mech. We're in mech school driving Mommy and Daddy's assault mech. But medium lasers here, easy peasy, easy choices. Hopscotch. Well, you can't actually shoot at the thing I wanted you to shoot at because I made that mistake. You can blame me, but you can still fire medium laser at that guy. No. We're going to go back here. Medium laser, you actually want to turn right. We want you on the left side. Can we do the left side? No, we can't. We want you on the rear. I think that's going to be the best shot. Wyvern's prone, but you can still get a right arm large laser shot on Panzer. There you go. And, oh yeah, and small lasers. Those are also on the arms. Do we also want to play the SRM? Yes, we do, because you're not doing well. Fire those guns while you got them. Yeah, obviously not attended Nagelring, yeah. So our main character, the Marauder, shooting. He hits for 20 damage. There's the PSR. Hits the leg. Then we got Crusader. Hits with one of the lasers. Doing all right. Doing all right. Allies. Allies shooting and hitting. Yeah, Squishy the Crusader shoots and does manage to connect. Then look at this. We have the Zeus, the 6/7 Zeus, shooting on 12, 10, 11. Misses all the shots. Oh, what a shock. At least we don't have to worry about them dying. Speaking of dying, our most injured unit continues to be most injured. You gotta take out the vehicles around it before it really starts to suffer. But here we go. It's not managed to score a critical hit, but 1 internal structure remaining on the right leg of that Stinger. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon about, Mommy and Daddy's, bought me this mech, now I'm driving it around, because the large laser on Syrup chops the head off the Stinger. Hey, dead meat, saved metal, there's some salvage. Maybe I spoke too soon, because okay, it still does have armor, but that is, oh goodness. Alright, nope, it continues to take damage. This is the pain of watching, like going, okay, it chopped off the head, just leave the metal. Leave the metal. No, more metal is dying. More metal is being chopped off. Goodness gracious, why? There we go. And then their second Stalker, also shooting. Yeah, it's got talent. Yeah. The other stalker, Hang Up, also gets a head hit on the same guy. We're firing on the same guy. This is the best moment. All right, I'm gonna see if I can zoom in on this here. This is the winning moment for today. The 6/7 stalker getting another head hit, but Abdul Hakim bin Jabir is already dead, so no damage is dealt. Just that's BattleTech, folks. That is BattleTech. Let me resize this. Apologies for the live resizing. I need to figure out a way to zoom in on this so you can like really pin in details, but I don't know where I can see that on this thing. So continuing, the stinger just being obliterated. Hey, the one thing I could potentially salvage, and nope. There we go. Wolverine falls. We get the pilot hit. Excellent. No physical attacks for anybody, so that phase is skipped. Heat. We seem to be doing all right. Yeah. Here we go. 4 heat due to combat computer. The lovely quirk on those stalkers. That quirk in 3025, just getting 4 extra heat sinks equivalent, that is ridiculous. Alright, continuing on. Let's double check here. Where are we stand? They're at 70%. Progress is being made. So I told my wife that, alright, I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming on Monday nights because I want to get at least 1 game in, maybe 2. I'm probably going to call it after the cleanup from this mission because these weather condition scenarios are just such a slog. But however long it takes me, I'm going through this one mission. Here we go. Now the big catch is I might have to end it on a victory at a certain point if we don't hit the 50% BV because of Milkshake and Apex Jackal way over here. Because reaching them is going to be a pain. That, and I don't think there's any actual way my convoy makes it up to the north side of the map, because if you look, this is all depth 2 torrent. So not only is it a torrent that you have to make a PSR at extra difficult to stand up in, it's also torrential downpour at +2. It is going to be impossible for a mech to make the move through there. Like, it is just not going to happen. So, in which case, Crusader, stand still. Just keep being a Crusader. Occupying space and shoot with missiles. The Wyvern. The one thing that could really shoot you is mostly dead now. Oh no, you've got the immobile but turret still active tank next to you. Try to shoot that. Hover tanks moving around, trying to get at Danger Noodle over here. But we got this stinger going up here. Let's do that. And Marauder. Let's move up point of elevation. Let's see if we can do something. Wolverine blacks out. Perfect. So, mommy and daddy's filing first BattleMech, they're both clearly making the line here, but I head on 12. No, left leg. We want this pilot to eject, and if that left leg is gone, hitting on 5, I think we're good. So we're going to fire both of those. And I'm going to save the ammo and just fire the medium lasers here. I think we're good. Now we've got the Crusader. What do you got for targets? Nothing particularly good, but let's see if we can get What's the 2 on that? 15. Yeah, no. So same rule for shooting as for moving in MegaMek. The little trick here is escape cancels out and resets whatever you've done. So if you torso twists and like fire a couple of guns and you don't like what you've done, it's not gonna let me do this. Come on. There we go. Fire, fire. There we go. So I fired one of them, and I don't like it. Hit escape. Everything's reset. So we're trying just fire some lasers and get rid of that tank. Here we go. Just alpha strike on this. I don't care where they go. It's got to die sometime soon. And here you go. Same for this. Just kill it. Just kill it. Here we go. Mommy and Daddy bought me this mech. Our shooting needs 12s. On an immobile target, mind you. Miss. LM15 needs 11. Actually manages to hit. What a surprise. Yeah, escape is a MegaMek warrior's best friend. Alright, Jaeger tank does nothing. Squishy gets hit. Here we go. Main character hits with everything. Only one of the lasers connects to the left leg, but that's all it took. All it took is one medium laser to knock out that leg, and that mech is down for the count. So here we go. Yep, the Wyvern got hit again. The only thing I have that seems to be taking a substantial amount of damage, and most of that's because it took a gyro hit early on. And here we go. My Stinger connects with some amount of gun into that Jaeger Hoover, but it's still around. I make the observation quite frequently that in BattleTech, mechs specifically, but in this case I'm also going to apply it to vehicles, units exist just in two states, and only two states. They're either made of balsa wood or they're made of titanium. Either they just fall apart and die the moment you start shooting at them, or no amount of gunfire you seem to send in their direction seems to actually kill it. These two immobile tanks here have been alive for 3 or 4 turns now, somehow not dying. I don't understand. I mean, granted, it's a Stinger, and a prone Wyvern. They're not exactly dealing, they don't have the biggest guns to deal with these things, but come on. Die already. I'm targeting your weak spots, and apparently the targeting isn't working, so... Alright. Oh, this is the kick. Let's see if we can do the kick. -1. There you go. And it hits, and it's still alive. Heat phase. I'm doing alright. Move this forward. We lost initiative, but I don't think that actually matters much. Alright, they're at 65%. We're getting close. God, allies are moving. At this point, I do want to turn the Marauder around just so it has potentially other shot options. Crusader, stay still. We got the Stinger here. Just jump to the other vehicle, see if you can do something about it. Wyvern, stay still. Here, look at all of this. There we go. Phoenix Hawk blacks out. Yeah, so there's actually an optional setting in MegaMek that allows vehicles to be abandoned. By the rules, because there's no actual ejection mechanism, by standard MegaMek rules, they don't eject at all. So you can actually turn it so they have that sort of morale system and jump out. But I as much as that adds realism, and on my normal like personal campaign I would play with that on, it does mean that the moment a vehicle takes some amount of damage, they just immediately evaporate. It turns them into just an entire unit class of just balsa wood, and it's one of those like I could see why lore, but also because they're so fragile, they just eject them. It's one of those things of ends up being a personal choice of like which feels better for you. And anyway, so Phoenix Hawk, blacked out, 3 hits. Needs a 7. It might be out, but let's hope we save it here. If it doesn't wake up, here we go. We are going to go after Havoc, also unconscious, in the head on 12s. I don't like that. 13 leans on the Phoenix Hawk, so I don't think those head hits are going to be working as much. But yeah, hopefully one of the NPC stalkers kicks, except they're a 6/7. If they miss the kick and fall, they could just never get up again. I think our best option here, I actually just leave that alone. What do we have for other targets? Is the Marauder going to turn into elite vehicles? Is that really what's going to happen now? Or I guess here, Hacksaw on 11s? Yeah, let's just do that. That's not doing well. Just 2 PPCs on 11s up north. Okay, front. You know what? Right side. Let's try to get that right side. 2 lasers. Done. Aimed shot. Here we go. Rear. Fire those guns. You. See if we can finally... Vestigial arms equals no kicking. Alright. Ally Warhammer actually manages to connect with something. That's nice. Squishy the Crusader. Hits to the right side. Vehicles immobile again. More immobile vehicles. That's not really doing work here. Here we go. Flounder from Mommy and Daddy Bought Me a BattleTech Squad just got rid of one of those immobile tanks. Thank you very much for participating. Crusader shoots, does it. Again, the only mech of mine that has taken any amount of damage continues to take damage. Alright. Syrup. We're going to call Syrup captain of the sort of like the Lyran Child force, and kills the other vehicle here. And then continue. This seems to be a property of stalkers of, oh, I killed it. I'm going to continue killing it. It's already dead, but I'm going to just continue damaging the metal that you want to salvage. You're welcome. I helped. All right. The Zeus tried to kick and failed. Take a head hit. So now there's a ticking clock of, is that thing actually going to manage to stand up and not kill itself? Because the AI likes to do that. All right, where do we stand? 61%. They're at 61%, we're at 95. I'm almost to the point of just doing slash victory, just because they have all of these units just kind of out of range. Is that our missing guy? I found our missing convoy guy. He's all the way up here for some reason. Silver Spoon Kids have hit the broadside of a barn. We expected nothing, and they've exceeded expectations. That is absolutely correct, Eric. Oh boy. I'm just confused how this happened here. How did Sonar... Also, why is every single opponent getting a nickname? But Sonar, in the Power Man mech, Industrial mech, has managed to run all the way up here Hasn't been hit. Is this squad up here just not shooting at them? Like, what is? Did he just Goku teleport his way, Mr. Sonar? Did he swim? Did he somehow just go through a tunnel and wind up here? I have no idea how he's up there. If he dies, we're at that 50% BV mark for a convoy, but I'm just hoping he doesn't mess up. It's not going to take that much longer to try to get rid of the Phoenix Hawk and the Wolverine here. I think if they go, yeah, you're right, hiding in plain sight, yeah. If they go, this might be over, in which case, yeah, Marauder, stay still. You're just going to try to eliminate that. Crusader, stay still. You just want to be able to hit the immobile things on the other side. That's all you need to do. We're going to send you to jump forward, because if you can get close, maybe you can deal some damage. Wyvern not moving at all. There's everything. Great. Alright. We are not aiming for the head on 12. I want to salvage it. I don't. Sonar speaks impeccable Japanese and told Op4 he's working for them. Maybe that is the exact opposite of the Skyner Scout joke from Black Pants Legion. Instead of Frederick in the Atlas secretly joining the Draconis Combine Squad, it's Sonar in the just in the industrial mech speaking bad Japanese. Anyway, alright. Honestly, do we take the gamble on... Do I take the 7% gamble on head hits, or do I just try to end this? I think we're just going to try to... I want the Phoenix Hawk. I really do. What's the right leg on 5? I'm going to go for the leg. I'm going to go for the leg, and hopefully the MechWarrior abandons it once it's immobile. Or something. I don't know. We're trying that. Crusader. See, the problem with this right now is it's not getting up. It's hurt. It's not hurt enough that it's going to die particularly easy to cluster shots. But we're doing it. What about you? I'll do literature shots on 7s? On 8s? Yeah, we're going to do it. Keep going. Keep it on, keep it on. Hopscotch! Medium laser. Let's do the right leg. If we can blow up both legs, maybe the MechWarrior will eject once conscious. Large laser. Right leg. Try it. Why not? Oh, wait. I forgot that my shots don't actually matter all that much because my allies are just going to they don't like me salvaging things, I guess. So here we go. Right leg, armor destroyed. Still around, but hits with that. Secutor the Warhammer. Hitting pretty hard there. Let's wait until we get to the Stalkers. Hey! Stinger. Hopscotch is doing solid work. Here we go. Stalker Squad. Actually missing with its large array of weapons. Let's continue here. Shadowhawk was kicked. Oh! Sonar! Sonar's doing work here. Sonar? Just a freaking ninja. Oh man, Sonar just coming out of nowhere, like, just appears behind enemy lines, walks up and kicks a Shadowhawk and really, like, knocks it over. Okay, you keep going, man. You keep going. Alright, we lost initiative by a mile here. Okay, where are they at? Team 2 is at 56%. We are so close to being done. We are so close to victory. Just got to get that 6% BV. Yeah, death by industrial mech. Being meleeed to death by an industrial, power man power, like, is it even a mech? I keep wanting to say power man power armor, but no, it meets the technical definition of a mech. All right, Marauder, you just need to hit. Crusader, you just need to hit. We just need to get a little bit a little bit of more BV off, and we'll be good. All right, you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. No, you can't get any closer than that. So there you go. Stay still. All right. Whoa. Is that? No. That's not the Wolverine. So the Wolverine apparently woke up and ejected. This is the one we've been shooting at. So there we go. That's done. That should be enough. That should be enough right there, I think, to get us below the 50%. Get us to where we need to be. Now we've got Marauder shooting here. We're gonna go back. We're gonna shoot that leg off. And secondary targets. No. Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot those PPCs there. See if we can get that. LRM. So we've used half of our ammo, and we don't have any good shots. I don't necessarily want to shoot more at Sandlock, so everything we can hit. There you go. And you. Largely is earned 15. That's not worth trying. See what happens. Alright, a whole bunch of misses. And we have our Marauder, our hero, knocking off the leg of the Phoenix Hawk, knocking off the arm, getting the engine hit. So if that pilot wakes up, they're going to eject. And hopefully we've dealt enough damage that the BV, we get below that 50% mark, because that's what we need. Stalker took some damage. The Marauder took a little bit of damage, but not much. See, it keeps getting hit by the glancing blow, and I always forget that the narrow low profile isn't just exact number; it's within 1. So even 8 rolls 9, it's still half damage, and it's just quirks are not balanced, but they're fun. See, here we go. AC2, glancing blow, 1 damage. Boom. Here we go. Oh. There we go. Physical attacks. Punch left. Power Man is hit. Takes 6 damage to CT. 6 are remaining. Critical hit on engine. Engine safety system remains in place. So Sonar's alive. Stalker misses a kick on 10 and falls. There you go. Mommy and Daddy bought me a mech. I can shoot the guns, but I can't manage to stand up if I try to do anything else. Pilot Phoenix Hawk wakes up. And Power Man, Sonar's doing alright. Here we go. Where are we? 50.39. 50.39. We are 0.39% away from a victory, but we are trying to play by the rules as written as much as possible with this. So there's no way we don't beat this turn. But it sucks that we have to play another turn because our units can take a little bit more damage and we might lose a little bit more salvage. But in any case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jump in here. We're still immobile. Okay, Crusader, you don't need to move. Why move you? It's been working for us. Marauder. Yeah, just stay still. Phoenix Hawk, yep, 4 total hits. It tried to stand up and blacked out again before it could possibly eject. Stalker does the same thing. Doesn't black out, but geez, don't try to kick when you have 7 piloting. Just don't. It's not going to work out for you. Alright, targets for the Marauder. Looks like it's just the Phoenix Hawk. Ooh, it's hurting. It is hurting. Go for the... Oh wait, no. Where's that other mech we're shooting at? Nowhere to be seen. Let's go for the left leg. Just need to hit something. Shave off 0.39% of their BV. Heck, that guy might be 0.39% of their BV, but I'm not so mean just now. They haven't... I don't think they've done the reputation stuff. Yeah, the reputation, some of the other stuff they're proposing for 50.7 might affect Dragon Soccer. Yeah, but killing that guy in other versions, future versions, might affect reputation. I'm still not doing it with this one, but here we go. Head hits. Go for the head. See if you can get that. See if you can kill that Phoenix Hawk. Large laser. What do you got? Kill the dude? We're not going to kill the dude. Skip. Last turn. Here we go. 10 damage to left leg. Another damage to left leg. 1 internal. Scrolling down. Lots and lots and lots of misses. AC2 hits, but half damage due to low profile again. Mommy and Daddy bought me a mech. Managed to connect with sun damage on the Phoenix Hawk, but the Phoenix Hawk isn't destroyed yet, so kick. Alright, Power Man armor, just survive. Just survive. The Zeus blacks out from a missed kick. Okay, there we go. Do I get it? Do I get it? 49.58. 49.58. If anyone was here from the start, when I first started this scenario, normally in a scenario that tells you you need to eliminate 50% of the opposing force, I set the automatic victory at 55% because, I don't know, what is 50%, you know, when it's a BV thing? What's this? What's that? I am right now just going to do /victory because I hate these weather things and I am calling it. I'm not going with my self-imposed original 55% because torrential downpour, moderate gale. Just no. We're done. Enter. Victory. They missed defeat. We're done. I do have it set that on a force victory it skips all phases because no, I don't. If I do a /victory, I don't want to play through the rest of the turns. And here we go. Do you want to save a gift of the game summary? Yes. Do you want to save a Wreck-It Rel salvage? Yes. And we are going to go to use data up campaigns. Monday Night MegaMek. Boom. Done. Scenario template states that you always retain battlefield control. Do you want to clear side controlling battlefield? Yes. Here we go. The beautiful salvage screen. Yeah. Next. Okay. Pilot took some damage. That's acceptable. Alright. So this is an interesting screen that you sometimes have to play a little wishy-washy with. I will state that there's no situation where those guys on the other side of the river could not have escaped. Sometimes these undamaged units, like, what does it mean when you hit that 50% BV marker? Do they surrender? Do they retreat? Like, what's happening? This is definitely a circumstance where they would retreat. They're blocked off by the river. I think it's fair to say they did in fact escape. So what the program said here I'm absolutely agreeing with. Like, I never even saw the flip platoon. So, there we go. Now, the Phoenix Hawk, definitely salvaging. Tank, I'm selling. Stingers, I'm just straight up selling. Wolverine, does that put me over the limit? Yeah, the Wolverine is a huge chunk of value. I'm at 50% max. I've hit 46. Mercs, yep, I'm okay with this. I get a crippled Phoenix Hawk with potential repair. And captured. Killed in action. Alright, I think we're good here. And yeah, champion was definitely our gun. I'm going to give Phoenix their gun credit for the Phoenix Hawk, because that was definitely him. I'm going to claim that he also did the Wolverine for sure. So I'm giving him credit for those. Because these are generally only done by if you get the killing blow, not necessarily if you are responsible for, because that is not a judgment the computer can make. So yeah, here we go. Especially for Hopscotch, yes. Yeah, Hopscotch gets an upgrade as soon as I could possibly give them an upgrade. So reach north edge for 50%. Now, this is again where I have to make a judgment call of the enemy retreated. They could have made it up there. There's no reason that they could not have eventually made it to the north edge. So one of them did die, but three of them definitely did make it. Forced to withdraw. Now, we saw that I hit the 50% BV mark. This is based off of unit count or some other marker that's not BV. So in which case, like I never saw the flip platoon that ran away. And look, now I hit the marker and it's 50%. So just got to play around with it, preserve. But this is definitely a successful mission. Ta-da! Finish. Hey, and here we go, the awards. So we have wounded in combat due to enemy fire. Yes, you were the only person who took any significant amount of fire. I definitely think you've earned that Purple Heart, my friend. And combat action. Everybody gets a point of edge after their first combat deployment, and it is so very important in this kind of like RPG setting. So issue those awards. There we go. First mission. What a success. I got a Phoenix Hawk. A very badly damaged Phoenix Hawk. Now, some of you have definitely clearly have played MegaMek before, but for those of you who are potentially watching this video later, or some of you are part of my local play group who need a bit of who not need but could use a little bit of tutorial through this. So parts in need report, or parts in use. Here we go. The parts in use report is very important because it just tells you everything that your units use, and importantly is this checkbox down here. Add part orders to fill requested stock levels weekly. That means that your logistics personnel, your support personnel will place orders automatically for parts to add, spare parts to add in storage based off of the requested stock percentage that's right here and going down. Some of these numbers are a bit ridiculous, but at the same point, it is, if you are maintaining a unit, this is the easiest way to make sure you always have spare parts and spare ammo without having to go through the drudgery of individually ordering parts and other things. So having that clicked means, you have 2 foot actuators in use, you order 100%, they're going to try to buy 2 more. Now, I do not have a lot of money right now. This could potentially make me go broke, so I'm not going to activate it, but it is something that I will definitely want to click at a later date. And with that, we're going to go to the parts needed report. This is just the stuff that you need right now to repair things in your mech bay. And oh boy, I am very broke. but I still need to make this happen. So we're going to click order all. And if my techs can find stuff, they can find stuff. Thankfully, this is a garrison contract, and we've made it through some 6 months before this first scenario that I managed to just actually manually find on the StratCon air operation. So I think will be plenty of time to repair, but we will get to that probably next week, next Monday. I'm going to be trying to stream MegaMek Mondays every Monday just to get some active stuff on this channel and everything. So, yeah. Thank you very much, you guys, for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.